Birds Bright Sports Talk, where we weekly cover Ravens and Orioles news. We're your host TJ and Jared, and I'm pumped up to make this video. Because everybody was doubting us the whole week. Coming into San Francisco. Of course, this is going to be our Ravens 49ers game recap, but everybody was doubting us all week.
Mike
Obviously,
Florio.
obviously you heard what Mike Flores said. We're going to get our faces kicked in, basically. Everybody was just gassing up the Niners and forgetting that we're the best team in the AFC. I mean, you even had analysts saying that the Bills are the best team in AFC. And we come in Monday night, Christmas Day, Levi Stadium, put a beating on the 49ers and make a statement in the whole league. We are the best team in the league. We have the MVP QB, and we have the most dominant defense.
Yep,
And
that's
we
for
made
sure.
all those statements Monday night and much more. And we're going to get into that in this video, but I want to ask you, we watched this game together. We yelled at the TV together. We laughed together. We worried together. We did everything together this game. What's your opinions on this game? What was your opinions?
Yeah, everything that you said was true. All week it was this analyst saying this analyst saying that. And even now they're still not.
Yeah.
There's some that are still there are some that are giving us our flowers, and some that are still, especially I'm looking at you, Shannon Sharp. He continues to be a buffoon on ESPN.
Mhm.
So and I mean, he gave Lamar's props, but watching first take, he's pushing the goalposts even further. He's like pretty much like I think he asked the question like, "Oh, do you trust Lamar?" Like, passing when he doesn't want to, and like I don't know if you heard that, and that just doesn't make sense. He's a quarterback. Why would he not want to pass?
Mhm.
Like I don't know. It's ridiculous. The goalposts keep moving for him, but I think he's all about business now. Even when we're winning a lot, he looks like he's having fun, but he looks focused still.
Yeah.
So he's on a mission this year, and he's on a mission to do it all. Win it all, do it all, win it all. So, but yeah, I mean, like everybody, like even just your average TikTok or Twitter or Instagram fan, sports, like even there, like, 49ers are going to win. 49ers are going to win. Everybody seemed they were picking the 49ers. The only one who was on the Ravens side seemed to be the Ravens fans, and we know how capable our team was. I mean, we were doubted even coming into the season. People were like, well, Lamar and the passing offense with his weapons, is he going to be able to utilize them correctly and whatever? And, I mean, all year it's been disrespect, disrespect after disrespect after disrespect. And me and you and every Ravens fan, or at least every Ravens fan with a brain, knew for a fact that when you put Lamar in a passing offense, even though we're not like a passing offense, but we're more prone to pass now, Like we knew if you put him in that offense, he'd be able to succeed, and he's doing just that. And this is probably stats don't really show up, maybe as much, but it's definitely his best year. I mean, obviously, he has the most passing yards in his career. He what's it called? Has the best completion percentage as well. Has one of the best passer ratings since 2019 for him. So it's just again like he's thriving in this offense. It feels like week after week he continues to learn and do something new. He always seems to do something spectacular. I mean, and give the flowers to the defense. I mean, they came in ready. They came in ready. And they are playing this physical, like smart, like always there type of defense where it's just like they always seem to be at the right place at the right time. All those like three of the four picks were like tips, I believe. If I remember correctly. Yeah, because like the first one wasn't just like Brock Purdy didn't read the field correctly, and the other three, I think, that Brock Purdy had thrown was just tip balls, and it's just I don't know. The defense is playing like this feels like the old Ravens defense,
Yeah.
like the past Ravens. This doesn't feel like because the one thing about our defense is like in the past few seasons, like in 2019, 2018, 2021, sorry, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, even last year. I mean, not much last year, but up until 2021, it just felt like the Ravens played like a physical defense, but they still left a lot to be desired
Yeah.
sometimes. But this year, it's just we're gonna hit you hard, we're gonna punch you in the mouth, we're going to bully you all game, and we're going to dominate you. And that's exactly what they did in Santa Clara yesterday on Christmas Day. They went into San Francisco and they punched the 49ers in the mouth, and they had no response. I saw some 49ers fans saying they outgained the Ravens in the fourth quarter. Well, congratulations. You still lost by 14 points.
Yep.
So we came in there, punched them in the mouth, took their Christmas gifts, took their wives, took their money, took whatever, and left, came back to Baltimore, had a hell of a time. So that's what I got to say about this game.
And just to add on to that, I just want to shout out, some of the players. Obviously, got shout out Lamar. Like I said, it
Yep.
was an MVP performance, but Zay, man, Zay just continuing to, add on to, his impressive rookie season this year and really make himself, a wide receiver one for the future for the Ravens. I mean, he was
Mhm.
incredible. He was catching a lot of clutch passes. He had that one beautiful, touchdown reception, and he had the Grinch celebration, which everybody liked.
Yep.
And it's likely, I'm not gonna lie, he had my favorite play of the game. Lamar just, threw a bullet at him, and he's
Hmm.
just trucking the 49ers. He's
Yep.
pushing in their face, stiff arming them, and he's
Hmm.
just physical, man. He's just
Yep.
physical. I like him as a tight end too, next to Mark, man.
Yep.
This is crazy because we're doing all of this without Mark, without J.K. Dobbins, without Keaton Mitchell.
Yep.
We're doing all this, and we're like at 80 to 85%. And it's
Hmm.
just insane, how good we can be. So,
Yep. And then
and Kyle Hamilton, shout
yep,
out.
exactly. Two picks, his first two career his first pick career game,
Yeah,
and I don't know, it's just even throughout the whole team, it's just physical. That like we're starting to bully people on offense now. Like it's just this different brand of Ravens football, and I love it. It feels like it felt like the past few seasons, it felt like a chore to watch the Ravens sometimes. But now it's at a genuine excitement and enjoyment, and it just it's fun. Me and you were having fun on FaceTime yesterday watching the Ravens game, like
yeah,
we were like you said, you're screening the TV and I mean honestly, look, we got hit first. And you kind of predicted this a little bit. You said like in the pregame video what we may go down like 10-0 or whatever, but we got to respond from that. And we didn't go down 10-0. We only went down 5-0, which obviously isn't a huge deficit. But the
mm,
way everything happened, you have, the bad first drive, and then, you have the 49ers drive down the field. Kyle Hamilton does get the pick, but then we get the safety, and then they get the field goal. And it's like, after that safety, I mean, come on, you had to think like, what's going on here? Like what are we doing? Like we didn't start this game good at all.
yeah,
If anything, that's not how you want to start this game. But they corrected themselves. They fixed not all their mistakes, but most of their mistakes, and they just went through the rest of the game. After we took the lead 10-5, never gave it up. Never get it. Only the closest they got after that was 13-12. After that, we put up, I think it was like 33-12 at one point, And I obviously, the defense was struggling a little bit in the fourth quarter, but excuse me, we can attribute that to Kyle Hamilton leaving the game with injury, and it doesn't seem like it's serious. So it looked like it was serious at first, but he might have just re-aggravated that sprain. So his availability is in question for the Dolphins game. But we'll get to that in probably the Dolphins pregame video. But yeah, I mean, just this team is came in and understood the disrespect. They took the disrespect and ran with it. They didn't take the disrespect and get beat down. No, they took it, right, kept the receipts so that when they needed to return the item, return the favor, they did exactly that. And that's what I love about this Ravens team is they're not taking any BS.
yep. That's exactly right. And I think it's just time for us to read into the stats. Let's just show the people with the damage that we did to this team. Let's
Yep.
just get
All
into it.
right. Now, let me share this screen here. All right. Should be sharing now.
All right. So, start off the Ravens offensive passing. Lamar, 23, 35, 252 yards, two touchdowns. I would like to see him get a third one so he can get to 20 passing touchdowns, but hey, it is what it is. We got the big win. Uh Baltimore rushing again, Lamar leading, 7 carries, 45 yards. There was this one play that he did where the whole 49ers defensive line, Chase Young, Nick Bosa, Javon Hargrave, they just all look like, whoa, they just look
Like where
confused.
where are we going?
Yeah, and
Oh, I actually wanted to point that out. I'm gonna bring it up after you finish what you had to say.
I was just saying, like, they just all look confused and just Lamar, that was like a 30-yard rush that he did. It was incredible. But what were you gonna say?
I'm gonna say Fred Warner is an amazing linebacker, one of the best in the league compared to Roquan Smith. That's one of the best linebackers in the league. But we're putting him on some skates today, or yesterday, I should say, or actually 2 days ago. But we were putting him on some skates,
Yep,
like
yep,
especially on that halftime, like before halftime run. They were putting him on some skates, especially Lamar, and Zay put him on one too. So that was nice to see. That was nice to see.
yep. And Gus Edwards having 9 carries for 31 yards. He had a touchdown. Justice Hill having 10 carries for 26 yards. Obviously, outside of Lamar, our rushing game has kind of slowed down a little bit in the
Mhm.
last couple weeks. So,
No, not
hopefully,
last week, not last week, but this
I
week.
mean,
Definitely.
just in general, just a little bit. But hopefully we can kind of get our groove back when it's time for playoff time. So on to the receiving. We have Zay Flowers had a great game, 9 receptions, 72 yards, 1 touchdown. He was just everywhere on the field, Monday night. It was a great game by him.
I heard
Isaiah
it 13
Likely,
times too. That's crazy.
yeah. Isaiah Likely, 3 receptions, 56 yards. Another great game by him. Gus Edwards, 1 reception for 39 yards. That was a big, completion that Lamar did to him. That went on that one play. Um, Justice Hill, 3 receptions, 31 yards. Charlie Kolar, 1 reception for 17 yards. I want to see him get a little bit more catches. I
Yeah.
he's nice. Rashard Bateman had 1 catch for 14 yards on a nice throw.
Wow, I only have one. I feel like he had more than that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
he
feel
had
like
that one negated, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
he dropped that one.
yep. I feel like Odell had more catches than what it seemed like, but he had 2 catches for 13 yards.
Mhm.
Nelson Aguilar had 3 catches, 10 yards, and a touchdown. And Patrick Ricard, it's just I don't know why he's even in the stats.
I guess he had a target.
Oh yeah, target, yeah.
I mean, I guess I want to ask you, like, what I mean, overall assessment on the offense.
The offense, again, I would say the passing offense is great. And
Mm,
it's really, making me feel good because each week we're seeing something, we're seeing, more and more chemistry, especially between Lamar and Zay. I feel like,
mm,
it's starting to be a little bit more between Lamar and OBJ too. Obviously, Lamar and Bateman is just not really there. And Bateman, has shaky hands sometimes too. He needs to fix that. But
yeah.
I can see the overall chemistry of the offense improving, week by week. And
Yep.
the air attack looks amazing. It
Yep.
definitely looks better than 2019.
Yeah. There's definitely, and this was a game. Yeah, I was kind of bringing this up. Me and you talk about this a lot. Is the Ravens as a whole have let Lamar down in playoff games.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say Lamar has played amazing in these playoff games. That he's played in the four that he's played in, but they really let him down, bro. And especially in that divisional game versus the Titans and the divisional game versus the Bills, they really let Lamar down. And in this game, they didn't let Lamar down. Lamar did a lot of things himself, yeah, but Zay was helping him, Gus, whatever, whoever it was, they were getting the job done. And this is the type of game I want to see in the playoffs.
Yeah.
A nice physical punch you in the mouth type game, but also can be relaxing. It was a little bit relaxing, not relaxing at the end, but we got it done. And you can see on the screen right now, at the moment, the line for the game was San Francisco by 6.5. Like we are both 11-3, the best football teams in each conference, and the line is 6.5. Ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Never should see that again. Ever. No 6.5. Deficit or line, whatever you want to call it, is ridiculous and disrespectful, really. So, and they didn't take into account that I believe the 49ers are like 3 of their 4 losses are versus AFC teams, and 3 of the 4 losses to AFC North teams. So,
Mm-hmm.
so just want to bring that
Lost
up.
to the Bengals and the Browns. I remember that.
Yep. So, and the Browns and the Bengals did the same thing. They went into Santa Clara and punched them in the mouth.
Yep.
So, and we did the same. We did the same thing. So, anyways, to bring up the defensive stats, Roquan Smith had 8 total tackles. 2 of them were solo. He has a QB hit. Marcus Williams has 7 total tackles. 5 of them are solo. 1 tackle for loss, a pass deflection, and I believe he had an interception. I don't know why they don't put that up here right here. I think they put it like down here, but we'll get into that. Patrick Queen has 7 total tackles. Two of them are solo. He has a pass deflection, a QB hit, and a pick. Brandon Stevens has 5 total tackles. 4 of them are solo, 2 pass deflections, and he had that 1 pass deflection wound up being a pick. Brandon Stevens was definitely up and down in this game today or on Monday. He had moments, but then he also had, moments where he was like, how do I say this? Like he got burnt a little bit, in a way. And then he had that terrible pass interference call, but I think Brandon Stevens was up and down today, but I think it was mostly up. Kyle Hamilton, 5 total tackles, 3 of them were solo. He has 3 pass deflections and he has 2 interceptions. Ronald Darby has 4 total tackles, 3 of them were solo. He had a chance for, I think, a pick twice, if I'm not mistaken. He had a chance to get a pick twice. Matabike gets 4 total tackles, 3 of them were solo. 1 QB hit. Unfortunately, his sack streak does end, but he still deserves that money. Marlon Humphrey has 3 total tackles, 2 of them were solo. He has 2 pass deflections, and he gets his first pick of the year. So, congratulations to Marlo. Kyle Van Noy has 3 total tackles, 1 of them were solo. He has 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, and a QB hit. Geno Stone has 3 total tackles, 1 of them was solo. Brent Urban has 2 total tackles, 2 of them were solo. He has 2 sacks, 2 tackle for losses, and 3 QB hits. So a sneaky good game for Brent Urban. Underrated part of our defensive line. Getting to the quarterback twice. That's huge. Travis Jones has 2 total tackles, 2 of them were solo. He has a pass deflection, and a QB hit. Travis Jones, he had his play in the game where he bullied the right tackle, and then that wound up being the pick to Queen, if I'm not mistaken. He just bullied the right tackle, and look, if we pay Matabike and Travis Jones develops like him, imagine that defensive line. Imagine that defense, and if Ajabo and Owe develop correctly, Owe has some nice pass rush moves too.
No, he does.
If he can start getting to the quarterback more consistently, then he's going to be a dangerous rusher.
Yeah.
Michael Pierce has 2 total tackles, 1 of them are solo. Jadeveon Clowney has 1 total tackle, 2 of them are solo. He only has one. It says he only has 1 sack. I swear he had more, but he has 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 1 pass deflection, and 1 QB hit. Ooh, excuse me. Broderick Washington has 1 total tackle, 1 of them are solo. I believe he had an injury. I didn't hear any injury updates about him. I know he left the game with one. Jeremiah Moon and Trenton Simpson, both get in the game, have 1 tackle, and both of them are solo. Let's see here. Yeah, the interceptions, as you can see, Kyle Hamilton has 2, Marcus Williams has 1, Patrick Queen has 1, and Marlon Humphrey has 1. And I mean, just domination, defensively, and like we were saying, disrespected, and we heard the disrespect, and we didn't take it. We didn't take it. And I really, how many times over the years, me and you were complaining about the Ravens, not, how do I say it? Like being kind of soft.
Yep.
This isn't a soft Ravens team anymore.
Yep.
This is not a soft Ravens team anymore. This is a physical, ball hard Ravens football. I know you love that word. But anyways, to kind of recap the playoff picture here, obviously you have us as the 1 seed. The only thing that bothers me about it is this record right here, division record. It should be 5-0, and we should be 14-1. But that's besides the point. The Miami Dolphins did get a win over the Cowboys on Sunday on Christmas Eve. But they didn't look all that impressive, and Jalen Waddle, I believe, may not be playing in the Ravens game. Kansas City Chiefs continue to just look awful. Like let's say it how it is. It's not like they're like close to figuring something out. They look awful.
Yeah, they're not coordinated at all.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, they're just acting like a bunch of big babies about it too. I understand frustration sets in failure, but I mean, this outburst, like stuff, like Mahomes yelling at his teammates, like yelling at the official, and Travis Kelce throwing his helmet, on the sideline. Like, I understand the frustration, but that's clearly not helping. So why are you exacerbating the issue? So I'm not here to speak up on the Chiefs like that, but it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like that's just lame. Like keep that crap in house. But anyways, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they got beat down, I believe, by the Buccaneers. So they cannot get the 1 seed. The Chiefs got eliminated from the 1 seed as well. They have not been eliminated from the 2 seed, so that's still something they can go for. The Browns got a big win over the Texans, but the Texans did not have CJ Stroud, and Amari Cooper just did whatever he wanted. Buffalo Bills got a big win over the I want to say it was the Chargers right on Saturday, I believe.
Yep.
They squeaked that one out. The Colts, they got dominated by the Falcons. And obviously the Texans, like I said, they lost to the Browns. So with that being said, um, it's us and the Dolphins now. The Dolphins clinched the playoff berth. And I mean next week it's for everything. It's for everything next week. It's for the first seed. It's for the division. We can put everything to bed and figure everything out. So and if you look at this right here, just look at this. The difference between the team is, obviously they have the 4-1 record versus the division, which is going to happen considering they have to play the Jets and the Bills, Jets and the Dolphins, the Jets and the Patriots twice, and obviously their one losses versus the Buffalo Bills. Obviously the same conference record, but look at this strength of schedule. We our strength of schedule. We've played teams an average of with a 529 winning percentage. Look at this, 418, and that's proven by the fact that I think they said like they're like 10-1 with teams with losing records, and they're like 1-3 versus teams with winning records or something like that. I think the winning record teams are the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Eagles, I believe. And their one win is obviously versus the Cowboys, who, I mean, honestly, are just like the NFC's version of the Dolphins, So, yeah, like I was saying, like next week's for everything, and honestly, we should beat them down.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll get into that in our pregame. We'll say that for a pregame. But I mean, like, give me your reactions to like the overall seating so far. With 2 weeks to go.
You know, definitely it's good to see us at the top, at 12-3. You know, again, I really want us to make a statement, this upcoming Sunday against the Dolphins. I know we still have to have a bad taste in our mouth from last year,
Mhm.
especially, they came into our house, they came back, they put up two, had like 6 touchdowns on us.
Yeah.
They were dancing all around the field. I mean, that's disrespectful. And they're going to come into our house and try to ruin our chances of being the number one seed, home field advantage. So,
Mhm.
that's how I feel about the seedings. We got to go in there. We got to make another statement game. It's not going to be easy. I know they have Tyreek. I know the Dolphins are going to do everything in their power to get Wilder to play. I mean, that's just how Mike McDonald is.
Mike
But
McDaniel.
like McDaniel. But I like where we are right now.
Mhm.
It's our destinies in our own hands, and that's the best
Mhm.
place you could be as a football team. No one else
Yep.
controlling your destiny but you. So I
Yep.
like where we are right now, and I trust in us to get the job done.
And that's something I wanted to bring up too. I'm glad you brought that up. But this is another chance to punch another team in the mouth. Like you said, I mean, they came in here last year, we're dancing, Tyreek throwing up peace signs on a broken coverage. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. If I'm Kyle Hamilton, I'm doing everything I can to play next week because I want to. I want to get my get back for that game because I'm not saying that game was his fault, but I'm not saying that it wasn't his fault either. So and Kyle Hamilton is a different player than he was then, and we didn't have Roquan at the time. Thank God Marcus Peters isn't here anymore. Um, what's his face? Matabike wasn't what he was now. So I'm gonna be honest, we get pressure under Tua. I think we can get him.
Yep.
But he's slick. He can escape sacks. He has this goofy ass spin move that he does. And it's like we gotta bring him down. If we can't let him extend the plays because he can only cover Tyreek Hill for so long.
Yeah.
So no matter who's on him. So and on top of that, that was Marcus Peters' first game back, I believe. And meaning back in week 2, it was like Marcus Peters' first game back. It was like Marlon Humphrey's first game back. And what's crazy is they didn't start coming back until Marlon Humphrey left the game. So I don't know if you remember that. I don't know if you remember that. That was the biggest discussion is Marlon Humphrey left the game. All of a sudden they are letting off these bombs. So, and like I said, Kyle Hamilton is a different player now than he was then. Matabike, we have Roquan, Patrick Queen's even a different player than he was now. So I really want to beat down on them, but we're going to get into that into the pregame video. I just want to bring up this one last note here before we end this video. Adam Schefter had tweeted out. I'm going to talk about two Adam Schefter tweets today, saying the Ravens and 49ers with an audience of 27.2 million viewers is the second most watched Monday Night Football game in 27 years, trailing only the Eagles and Chiefs in Week 11 this year. So I think they said it peaked at like 31 million viewers. So this was a big stage, and we really put passed the test, and we more than aced the test. We got that and bonus. So we could have just won this game, but we won it in dominating fashion. And the last thing I want to bring up before we end this video, and I want your opinion. I don't know if you saw it, but another Adam Schefter tweet. He says, "Here are some of the notable injuries QBs have suffered this season versus the Ravens. Week 6, Ryan Tannehill high ankle sprain. Week 10, Deshaun Watson fractured shoulder. Week 11, Joe Burrow torn wrist ligament. Week 15, Trevor Lawrence concussion. Week 16, Brock Purdy stinger." And the reason I want to bring that up is because this feels like, I don't know if that's his intention, but this feels like a narrative thing that's been brought up now. Because like we may have hurt Ryan Tannehill. I think that we hurt him already. But Deshaun Watson already came in dealing with a lot of crap. He's missed games this year before the game. He missed the game, our first game, because he was hurt. Joe Burrow was already dealing with something. Trevor Lawrence was already dealing with something. And Brock Purdy got the stinger the week before versus the Cardinals. But that tweet is nasty work right there. I want your opinion on it.
You know, that's just, a key example of, the media creating your own narratives. Exactly, I agree with exactly what you said. A lot of these players were dealing with things, coming into the game, and honestly, there's no one to blame but their coaches. I mean, I remember before the Bengals game on Thursday night, there was a report that, Joe Burrow was wearing something over his wrist, and they were trying to ask Zach Taylor what was that. He wouldn't really give them an answer.
Yep.
Same we saw with Trevor Lawrence. I think that was a primetime game before they played us. That's the that was a primetime game before they played us, and he got hurt. His
Mm-hmm.
ankle got hurt against the Bengals, I think. You know, it was an ankle injury that he sustained against us, but obviously he came into that game not 100%. So I feel like it's more on the coaches letting these guys play against us. They know that we're a
Yep.
physical team. I mean, in every football game, the quarterback's gonna lay on it. He's gonna get, tackled and get on the ground. So
Yep.
I don't like this tweet either. I mean, we just play hard,
Yep.
ball hard, man. That's what the
Exactly.
Ravens are. That's our
Uh,
brand of football. It's just like
and
what you said. We play a brand of football that a lot of teams don't want to play.
exactly. It's fat. It's physical. It's like a physical, like old school, but within the rule books that they have now. They've like perfected that, where it's like we're gonna try to destroy you, but we're also not gonna get flagged for it. Now we may get fined because the NFL is taking out fines for anything. You may have a pimple and they might get fined for that. But we play within the rules and we play hard. We play physical. We play fast. And no teams want to play that because, they'll be whining like, oh, I'm getting flagged for this, getting flagged for that. And it's like the Ravens, I mean, if your quarterback's banged up, if I'm banged up and I already made my money, you wouldn't see me out there playing the Ravens. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'd be like, I'm gonna sit out this week. If we're playing the Panthers next week, let me let them up to prove why I got my money. But if I got hurt, bummed out knee, my wrist hurting, my shoulders hurting, my head, I got a little headache, you will not see me playing that Ravens game. That's all I gotta say. That's
Right.
all that's all I gotta say.
So, I think we covered everything in this video that we wanted to, address.
Mhm.
Like I said, obviously, it was a great win, a dominating win, and there's a lot more to us to achieve this year.
Yep.
This isn't our end all be all. We
Right.
have 5, 6 more games to win, hopefully. So, let's just hope that our Ravens can do that. Starting
Yep.
next week against the Dolphins. And we'll get more into that into our pregame. So, you know, this was a great video to film, just talking about this game. I still can't get enough of it. But, also, us here at Birds of Prey, we just want to say we hope you guys had a great Christmas, a great time with your families, a safe one. Enjoyed the Ravens game as much as we did. But that's all we have for you guys in this video today. Make sure to subscribe to our social medias, our Twitter, our TikTok, our Instagram. Make sure to also check out our second channel, Casual Cinema. We're Birds of Prey, TJ and Jared, and we're out.
Well,